time. The boys are back, but they're all grown up. Having enjoyed worldwide fame and sold over 90 million records thanks to hits like Quit Playing Games and I Want It That Way, they're still going strong after 15 years and release a new album later this month which features the single Inconsolable.
Baby, I don't wanna waste another day. Keeping it inside is killing me, 'cause I am the one that comes right down to you, to you. I wish that I could find the words to say. Baby, I would tell you every time you leave. I'm inconsolable.
They'll be performing later, but first, please welcome Brian and Nick from the Backstreet Boys.
Still got it.
Do you get bored of that after 15 years?
No.
No. They can keep doing it. Now, the Backstreet Boys, 15 years on, was there any consideration about becoming the Backstreet Gentlemen? Backstreet more mature?
People keep suggesting it to us, but I think, there's groups out there that have been around forever, that have been named like Boys, and it's who we are.
It's who you are.
Exactly.
And I have to say, you don't look any different, really. In 15 years, you still look
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the secret then? Because there's so many boy bands go by the wayside, don't they? And they don't last. 15 years, that's a hell of a long time, isn't it?
It is a long time in the boy band world, but I think our secret has always been about the group. We're not about one flashy guy that stands out in front and everybody
you've got
else.
no lead singer, so you're all equal.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, we started this 15 years ago and we wanted a career out of it. Pardon me. But we're all about the group. I think the fans know that. I think they can relate to each and every one of us in individual ways, which I think, brings a little more success, I think, to the longevity of the group.
You have been away. You've been away for a while. Haven't you? Been away for a while. What have you? And one of you has not come back to the group. So tell us what you've been doing in the meantime and why we're down to a foursome.
Actually, we just did an album. The last time that we were away was between the albums of Black and Blue and Never Gone, and then I had done a solo album. And when we got off the tour of Never Gone, we decided to jump right back into the studio, and we had a discussion with Kevin, and Kevin had decided that he didn't want to continue on and do it anymore, at least for this cycle. And the reason he didn't want to do it was because he wanted to start a family. And so he's got a new baby boy, and his name is Mason, and he's pursuing his things, and no hard feelings at all, and he's moved on, and so have we, and we're continuing.
But the door's still open apparently for him to come back if
Absolutely.
he once he gets tired of the sleepless night, he'll be like, boys, let me come back.
We were offered like every reality show known to man to find another Kevin Richardson, but we didn't really feel like that was the right way to go because we've always prided ourselves on good quality music versus the quantity of music. So, it was a musical challenge for us to make a record, with just four. So hopefully the fans will enjoy it.
You're a family man, aren't you, Brian, as well? So how do you manage to balance it all out?
Well, I think we spend our time and our efforts on things that we want to succeed, and we spend a lot of time on Backstreet Boys in order for it to succeed or be successful, and I spend a lot of time on my family life and life outside of the group. My son will be 5 in November, and his name's Bailey.
Can he sing?
So he does. He sings like a little songbird.
Does he?
Looks just like him. Just like him. It's kind of scary.
We spend our time on things that we want to nurture, and being careers, being families. I mean, those were my dreams as a little boy. I didn't dream of being a pop star. It just kind of happened.
He's got it all. So, Nick, you're still a single man? We were having a discussion then about that girl on an internet site who was very upfront and said, look, I'm gorgeous and I want a millionaire.
Right.
How would that work with you if somebody was that direct?
Well, I heard, actually, we have different views on things, but actually it's funny enough, I heard you discussing it, and I actually I think it's okay. I think that honesty is all right, because there are people out there who I think could fill that void for her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then there are people like me who may want to stay away from girls like that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, there's...
So you wouldn't be attracted to that kind of girl?
Not at all, no,
but
not at all.
You know, but there are obviously men that would.
Yeah, I mean, there's someone for everybody out there.
But for you to sort of, and then we sort of discussed about trying to find an equal. Now, for you to find I mean, there's not many equals out there. It would have to be sort of somebody who's been in the pop business for 15 years, sold 90 million records. I mean, Colleen was close. They were very big. She was very big in Japan. She was very, very big in Japan at one time. So, would it be easier for you to be with somebody like that, or does that bring a whole other aspect of nightmares?
You're mine, darling.
Oh, they're so jealous. I love it.
It's, you know, it's never, I mean, there's different types of situations, you know, it's never easy. I mean, I've had, you know, with certain people before I've been in the spotlight and tried to be with people who I thought maybe it would work because of that, but it varies in all different ways, you know, because, I mean, you could be with somebody who's just normal and, you know, have a great relationship, you know what I mean?
I think it would be easier for you to have someone a bit more normal, because somebody attracting the limelight as much as you do would be hell, I would imagine. Yeah,
really, I mean, it depends. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's tough when you have two different, you know, huge careers that you're trying to balance. I mean, that is tough. But I think, you know, when you focus on equal from like a financial standpoint or a status standpoint, that's one thing. But when you focus on emotional, and, you know, there's so many parts and facets of a relationship. My wife is almost 6 years older than I am. And, you know, we are just there, like we just meet. I mean, I wasn't looking for love, and it just, you know, popped me in the face. So, you know, and that's when the best things happen.
Isn't it difficult, though, being as, you know, as famous and as popular as you are, isn't it difficult to meet people and then kind of really, how do you know that they're actually after you for you, rather than...
Well, I've learned.
Look at him like
Brian's in a good place. I happen to be the younger guy of the group, and over the years I've just become more aware, and I've, you know, tried to, and I've learned a lot, you know, being very young, growing up in this business. So I've been able to kind of tell the different types of people and characters that there are out there. Obviously, not everybody is the same, but, you know, generally speaking, I think that you can kind of get an idea of who they are, you know, just by knowing them for...
And take, for instance, AJ. You know, he's had his bout with alcohol abuse, and, you know, he's been in the highest of highs in his life, and he's also been in the lowest of lows. And those people that you find that are there for the highest of highs aren't going to be there for the lowest of lows. So I think there's a, you know, it's a balance. It's been tough for this one because he's, you know, he was 12 years old when we started the Backstreet Boys. He was like,
sing it like this.
You know, and now he's like, incomplete. You know.
Will you guys stick around, because you're going to sing live for us, aren't you? You're going to sing the new single, and then the new album's out next week. Thank you guys. Nick and Brian from the Backstreet Boys. Time for a short break, but coming up, actor Jason Fleming and Brian and Nick will